So today we're talking about camera gear that is under $50. I've got 5 pieces of camera equipment for you. Obviously, this is not a brand new concept. I think Random Frank P was the guy who sort of coined this whole thing. So I just want to, give props to him about doing that for tech gear. But we're doing this specifically about camera gear. So 5 pieces of camera gear under $50 that you can pick up on Amazon today. Now this is titled episode 1 because I'd love to do this every single month, and I would love to get to the point where we can give some of this equipment away each month to one of you guys. So camera gear is expensive, we all know it, but we all like to find little knickknacks that are good for gifts or just, little splurges on ourselves. And I've got a handful of little things today that I think are going to be great for you. First off, let's talk about these. This is a clamp. It's called a super clamp, and what it is it's just very, very simply a clamp that you can attach on basically anything, and they come with a couple of little threads on them. So you got a little 1/4 and a 3/8 thread. So you can just mount this anywhere that you want. You could take something like a magic arm. This is a really cheap, bad little one. I would not buy this. I'd buy it like an 11-inch or a more robust one like this one by Small Rig. I think is fantastic, and I absolutely love those. That one's a little bit more expensive, so I'll leave a combo of these down in the description for a clamp with a magic arm. I think it's like $30 or $40, and there's loads of different combinations of these that you can get, but these are just super helpful for just mounting things in places. For example, what you're looking at right now, this shot, everything is attached to my desk. I'm using 3 of these clamps. I'm actually using some much larger super clamps with magic arms to attach everything all to this one big rig. The camera, my light, my microphone, my overhead camera, my monitor, everything that I have is attached to this desk, and these things just come in handy so much, especially if you're on set somewhere and you just need to throw a bit of light on somewhere, or you want to attach a director's monitor onto a shelf or something like that. These things are just great. I would highly recommend picking up a couple of these. Next up is this. I've talked about this quite a lot on the channel, and it is a little quick release system by Falcam. Now I'm not the biggest fan of proprietary quick release systems, because obviously, then you're going to have to sort of invest into an ecosystem. This is kind of that, but also kind of not. So it is called the F38, and what it is just a little quick release system that you can clip your camera on and off of this little quick release plate, and you can attach the quick release plate anywhere. The thing that I like about this, first off, is how incredibly easy and simple yet solid it feels. It works really, really well for what it does. But the other thing is that it is also Arca Swiss compatible. Yes, the little plates that you have that you attach under your camera are designed for these little quick release plates. But let's say you don't have one of these on you, but you do have Arca Swiss, it'll still connect to Arca Swiss. And also these little clamps that it comes with, on the side here you can see there's a ridge there. That is because this whole plate is Arca Swiss compatible, which means you could take something like this. This is just a monopod, and on the top here I have a little Arca Swiss tripod head. I can actually take this clamp and attach it into the Arca Swiss plate, lock that down, and now I've transformed my Arca Swiss plate into an F38 plate. Just makes that super simple and super easy. It also has multiple mounting points on the back, so you can attach this to other tripod plates, or you could even pair it with your magic arm and your clamp and make a little mini sort of, not a tripod because that requires 3 legs, but you could just stick this on a shelf somewhere, set it up wherever you want it, and slap your camera on there, and you've got a whole mount for your camera that you can kind of put wherever you want, which I think is pretty great. Now the only problem with these is they are kind of expensive. I think it's like $40 for a clamp with a plate. That seems like quite a lot, but if you're looking for a cage for your camera, Falcam make cages that come with the plates built into them. So if you are looking at getting into an ecosystem, this is the one that I would recommend. Thirdly, let's talk about this weird thing that I have on the desk. This is a mount for your phone. We all like to get those sort of POV shots where you see someone walking and interacting with a product or something like that, especially for creators, anybody who's doing YouTube. If you're wanting to make some shorts talking about products, for some bizarre reason, phone footage does better on Instagram and TikTok and those sorts of platforms for short form content than highly produced vertical video does on cinema cameras or anything like that. So people are often wanting to get ways to mount their phone, and this is a really cool little system that you can literally just put around your neck. You clamp it on. So now you've got this big old necklace kind of thing, and it's got a MagSafe mount on here. So if you have a camera with MagSafe on it, you can just mount it on there and you could film something, or you can sort of flip that around if you want to use the back camera, which is always better to do. You can just mount that on there. I can now see what it is that I'm filming, and I could be talking with my hands and filming something like this. Obviously this looks a bit silly, but nobody's gonna be seeing you while you're doing this, so this is quite nice. Now it also comes with a couple of attachable magnets to a phone, so if you don't have a MagSafe phone, it's okay. You can stick one of these little magnets onto your phone and it sort of turns it into MagSafe. And the other thing is it has these little quick release buttons on the back here, and that's just so that you can release the necklace thing. So if it doesn't fit around your neck, don't panic, because you can just press in that top button and release this, which is great. But then it also has this bottom one that you can see right here. And if you press that in, it actually releases the whole mechanism for the phone mount, and you can swap that out for this. This is just a little, what is it called? GoPro mounts, and that are designed for GoPros. So if you don't want to use your phone, but you want to use a GoPro, not a problem. You can just go ahead and do that, swap that out, whichever one that you want to use. I love this thing. I think it's genius. I've been wanting to do more vertical content and stuff for Instagram, but I hate having to do it with a camera and all that kind of stuff, and it takes a while, and they don't perform as well. This just sort of multiple birds with one stone type of thing. All right, the fourth item in this list is this. This is it looks like a flashlight, and it kind of is a flashlight, but it's by Small Rig. Currently on Amazon, this is $53. I have seen it go for under 50, so it all depends on the time of whenever you have tried to, find the product. It depends on the tariffs, all of those kinds of things. But this is basically a 10-watt light. And I'm slightly upset that this exists, because behind me here, you can see this big window light that I have. To make that window light costs me $400. This is $53, and it does exactly the same thing. It's got a little knob here, which you can turn that on. It's got lots of different attachment points, so as you can see, it's just a light. You can sort of shine it on the back wall, and it acts as a gobo or a snoot. As you can kind of see, I've got this. It comes with lots of different little gobos. So I've got this little one that kind of looks like a window. So we'll go ahead and attach that super simply like that. So now I have this little window light attached, and I could shine a window onto my wall. Now obviously I've already got the other one on there, but I could shine that little window light wherever I want. I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, I can turn it or shape it whichever way that I want. And I also have multiple different colors. So let me just shine it on the table here so you can kind of see. So it's got 4 different LEDs in here. So that's plain white, it's got a red, sort of orange, sort of warm, and a blue. So you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And again, if you pair it with a little clamp and the magic arm, you can stick this anywhere. Just clamp it to a shelf, clamp it to a stand, whatever it is that you want to do, shine it on your wall, and you can get this beautiful kind of window light or interesting sort of shot. As you can see, I've been using it in my top-down shot, and you can use it to just sort of spice up your shots and add a little bit of interest. People have asked all the time about this window light behind me, and it's always kind of, I don't know about embarrassing, but it's always been a bit of a pain to say, like, yeah, you need to get, a COB light. Those are usually about $200, and then you need to get a snoot. I use one by Well Making, which is also $200, and put a gobo in there and then run cables and all that kind of stuff. This thing has built-in battery, lasts a long time. You can charge it over USB-C. It's got mounting points all over it, and it's just easy, and it's also very bright. For most purposes, this will do almost everything that this thing can do, especially for what I'm using it for a fraction of the price. The last thing I want to talk about is this mat that I have in front of me. If you're into any sort of product photography, videography, or you showcase products on YouTube, or maybe you do stuff for clients where you're trying to get some nice product shots for them, these mats are fantastic. So I picked up 3 of these, and they have 2 different colors on each side. It looks like a mouse pad, but it's not. It's a little bit different. This one has a dark gray and a light gray, and then I also got these 2 here. So this one has like a light green on one side, a blue on the other side, and then the last one I got is like a green and a dark blue. So for my overhead sort of product shots, I can choose whichever one of these that I want and get some really nice shots showing off some products, and very much like totally change the background depending on what color I want to pair with the product. It sort of just helps add a little bit of interest to the shots, and they're dirt cheap. These are like $15 a piece, and there's tons and tons of colors, so you can sort of pair up what the product is that you're trying to showcase with a complementary color that'll just work well with it. And then one thing I like to do is just grab a whole bunch of like knickknacks, so like little plants, or lenses, straps, like lots of, or little bits and bobs to sort of add a little bit of interest to the shot. And I also use this little light to give a little bit of texture to the backdrop as well. So you can just do a whole lot of stuff with these, and they are so inexpensive, and I think they're just great. So I'd highly recommend considering picking one up. So there's my list of 5 little pieces of camera gear that I think are just fun to have and very useful in your studio or in your photography, videography business. If you enjoy them, I will leave links to everything down below. Obviously those are affiliate. That helps me go to do this, and hopefully next month, if you guys are interested, that means that we can actually afford to give away a lot of these products. every single month, coming out on hopefully the first of each month. Again, this is all new, so we'll see how it all goes. But if you enjoy this format, do let me know by subscribing, hitting the like button, leaving comments, all those kinds of things. It really helps out. I appreciate all of you for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.